Alright, hey YouTube. Today we've got Josh. He has dreadlocks that he has been growing for 6 months. He grew some length out, had them backcombed to begin with, and the maintenance that he's been doing, he's been going to a salon where they've been interlocking, also known as root flipping. This is not something I recommend because when you're dividing your roots with your dreadlocks, even if you're going in multiple directions, every time you do it, you're twisting and bunching your hair in a twist going opposite directions. So if two hairs are twisting in opposite directions, they're just not going to want to lock because you're purposely forcing them away from each other over time. So we can see that here. It's pretty evident that it almost looks braided. You can see like a crisscross for the 6 months of growth, and where he's been going back once a month to get his hair root flipped. She's also done some crocheting. Crocheting can be useful. I've also warned some of y'all about over crocheting, especially if you're working on your own hair. It can be really tempting. Just a little bit of lint. We all get that, no problem. It can be really tempting to see some frizz and want to tuck it in every day. Don't do that. You know, just tuck it in when you've got really long, loose hairs that belong in a dreadlock. You know, if you've got a holiday or wedding or something important, maybe do some crocheting. You could even use some aloe vera if you wanted to lay some frizz down. Don't use gel or hairspray or anything like that. You use some natural aloe vera like you rub on sunburn, and that could lay frizz down for like some photos, something temporary. Over crocheting will break hairs. Like this hair that's sticking out here should be connected to these hairs that are sticking out here. And now we have this thin spot. I'm not sure if the camera's focusing on that well. I've gotten some pictures I'll put in here as well. But this hair should be connected to hair up here, which would have, made a strong dreadlock. She's broken some hairs on at least 2 of these that I've seen. We're going to push this up and reconnect these hairs, almost like we're attaching an extension. I'm going to strengthen that up. I don't have any hair that's his color, but I was letting him know, we could also patch weak spots with hair that's the same color. Much like you put an extension in, you can take a bunch of hair if you have a weak spot further up. So say if I find somewhere that she's broken way up here, we can take a small bunch of hair, lay it in, and crochet it in to strengthen, because we'll be grabbing a strong piece here and a strong piece here, patching any breakage in the middle. So nothing that can't be fixed. Root flipping, I don't recommend it. We can crochet it and get this hair back to locking properly. He'll probably always see this stretch of hair, and it'll be his memory of something that he did wrong. We've all done something wrong with our dreadlocks, something that we wish we wouldn't have done.
Failures in life.
I did a lot of over crocheting. I had my last set, I had a couple dreadlocks that were rock hard because I was so set on fixing them, and I was really not doing any good. They mostly need time. This was backcombed 6 months ago, and it looks beautiful. It's time. This dreadlock is actually older than my extensions that I installed about 2 months ago. So his dreadlock from here down is definitely older and looks better than my new frizzy dreadlocks. The interlock part looks braided. It doesn't look good. We're going to see if we can fix that. We're definitely going to fix this and maybe tuck in anything that's crazy out like that. Make sure his sections are good, nothing's crisscrossing. We're going to go to time lapse for that. See you at the end. Alright, we're about a third of the way through Josh's dreadlocks. We've been doing maintenance on this side. I'm going to start a little bit on this side, and I wanted to show how I drop my crochet hook. I'm using a 0.6 millimeter. Never use anything over 1 millimeter. He was saying the person before was using a larger one, and that their method was also much more vigorous. I imagine that they were just, stabbing. Each pull with your crochet hook needs to be intentional. You need to know what you're aiming to do. You need to not only be able to pull the hair, but also let go of it with the hook. If you don't let go of it and you pull it out, you're breaking hair. You can see these hairs that are sticking up here, and the hairs that are sticking out of this end here used to be connected. That was the strength of his dreadlock that's gone right here. So right here we're going to probably lose maybe ½ inch of length, but essentially I'm going to pull this up and sew back in the hairs each way, so the hairs on the end that are sticking up I'll attach into the bit above it, and the ones that are sticking out from the upper end I will attach into this nice little knotted, he's got a nice blunted tip. All of his tips are pretty blunted. He'll lose a little bit of length, but gain the strength back, better than it falling off somewhere. This won't take but a few minutes, and with my pulls I've got like a rocking motion, so it's hard to see on camera. I'm pinching it between my two fingers and I'm giving it a rolling motion. I can feel the needle inside and what it's doing. I'm pulling the hairs in towards the center and I'm rocking back this way, which lets go. And I keep doing that, all from the same stab. So I've only stabbed the dreadlock on this side once. And I pull hair into the center, let go, go out of the bit, a little bit of a different angle, so I am stabbing the other side, I guess, multiple times there. And I'm pulling in, and then I go from a different angle, and I'm doing the same thing. It's harder to see, but I'm like actually, see if I can try and do some work without my thumb there. I'm actually like pulling hair up and letting go of it, and then I'm crisscrossing across that, so I'm locking in what I've done. I'll work on it a little bit more and you'll see how nice it is. And if you can hear, I don't know how well the audio is, but there's a slight scratching sound. There's no popping, there's no loud breaks. He's got a little bit of buildup in the base, mainly where the root flipping was. Also, he was using a shampoo from the salon that he was recommended that's for natural hair, and it adds moisturizing and conditioning. Dreadheads, I mean, everyone's hair will naturally, unless you have some specific medical condition, your hair will naturally produce oils. I quit using hair conditioner years before I got my dreadlocks, and I had long, to my waist hair before I donated it. I cut it up to my shoulders, donated it, grew it out a bit more, and then got my dreads for the first time. I quit using conditioner long before, when I was just researching dreadlocks, and my hair naturally started producing a proper amount of oil. Got to where I didn't have to wash my hair as often, 2 or 3 times a week, and that was just naturally healthy for me. I never had tangling issues. I mean, at first, your hair does react poorly to not, using conditioner anymore if you've just got long straight hair and you quit. But there's no way you want to be conditioning this. Those natural oils are good enough. We wash those off weekly, any excess. Dry, clean hair, knot's the best. So you want to just keep it clean and dry. Washing it, making sure you dry it well, and just let it be frizzy. Friction is good. Don't worry about rubbing them around. You can see here how much better that is. Let me see, there's another one. I believe this one here. This one here is like that one was. So see, this is the same situation. Look at the difference here. You got good dreadlock, broken hairs, the few hairs that are remaining that are just straight from holding the weight of this blunted tip, and then a nice blunted dreadlock tip. And this could be the case further up. This doesn't have to be on the tip. This could be way up here. I have had some weaker spots that I've tightened up. You essentially are just going to cinch out that. So you're attaching this good dreadlock end to this good dreadlock end, and you're knotting it up with this excess. You're not doing it in that fashion because you'll end up with that loop there. You know, so I'm just slowly pulling a little slack out. What I'll do is I'll grab this hair that's sticking out, and I'm going to aim to attach it about right there. I'll kind of give it a nice little wrap twist, and that's where I'll start repairing this one. Make sure you're letting go of the hair once you pull it inside. See, you know, that's still obviously frizzy, but you can see that's already looks way better than it did when it was just a few hair strands. We're going to jump back to time lapse, keep working. Alright, so we're all done with Josh's maintenance, his 6-month-old dreadlocks. We have crocheted what we can of what was interlocked, all the root flipping, to try and take that away, and just tucked in any frizz that was loose around the roots. Everything's looking good. He had a few that were really thin from some breakage from a crochet hook from someone that didn't know what they were doing. They were also using a large crochet hook and breaking the hair. We strengthened those spots up, and took us maybe about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And what did you think, Josh?
I liked it. It turned out a little bit better. I think the experience with it, like the first person who was doing it, it seemed like she was tearing into my hair a whole lot more, and seemed like it was doing more damage than achieving what I was trying to go for. And thought I was gonna have to lose the 3 strands, but you were able to fix it. I didn't feel any pain through the process like I did with her.
And that was from a hair professional, like a salon?
Yeah, it's actually from a salon.
That said they had dreadlock experience?
Yeah, she claimed to have had dreadlock experience with multiple different cultures, and she's been there for about, she said, about 15 years, so I tried to give her the run of the mill to see if she could do it.
Right. And what do you think about my method? You think you'll be back?
Oh yeah, I'm going to stick with your method and try to keep coming back to you for maintenance and everything until I can fully get it back then.
Sweet. Should be able
Maybe
to
add some extensions.
Yeah, should be able to leave them alone and let them grow, and maybe do maintenance, you know, once a year, twice a year. If you have something big coming up, you shouldn't have to work on your hair all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe in the beginning it's more often. His dreadlocks are still only 6 months old, but some of it wasn't locked properly, so maybe we'll do a few more maintenances than you normally would to get him back on the right track.
Yeah.
And he's also, like you said, thinking about putting in some extensions so it's long enough to put into a ponytail easily. I've kind of done a little crisscross braid on top to get his hair to stay back right now, but that's not easy and convenient for him to do yet. So he would like enough length that he could just pull it back quick and easy for, you know, working or eating or any reason anyone else would need to pull the hair out of their face. So we appreciate you watching, and see you next time. Thanks.
Later. Recommend.